Limit us $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. That's 800-240-4587.
Why have thousands of aspiring authors teamed up with Christian Faith Publishing to publish their book? Because Christian Faith Publishing is an author-friendly publisher who understands that your labor is more than just a book. We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process, professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the publishing industry. And as always, you will retain 100% of the rights to your book.
I was looking to find a company that I could trust, one that assisted in the editing process completely.
The most important qualities that I was looking for was a publisher who was honest and upfront, no hidden costs or fees, and owning the rights to my own work.
Christian Faith Publishing will publish, market, and sell your books in all major bookstores, online booksellers, as well as specialty Christian bookstores. Call for your free author submission kit.
800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. That's 800-978-4812.
Out-of-date carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleburne, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleburne, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give them a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they've got you covered.
Here's important new information from the Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetic supplies, you may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no-obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. Call right now. 800-597-9323.
Out-of-date carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleburne, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleburne, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give them a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they've got you covered.
Joco Community Radio. Listen live at tunein.com.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. This is Diana Roberts, life coach and the host of Positivity Toolbox, where we talk about all things positive and keeping a healthy, positive mindset. And the first thing I want to say is let's take a deep breath, because sometimes we just forget to breathe because we're trying to move too fast and quickly in life, right? So breath work is huge. If you're not already practicing it, I really highly suggest it. It does help. It 100% helps. So we're going to take a deep breath in and then release it out and relax your shoulders. And let's talk about accepting accepting, just accepting all the things that you don't want in your life. And we get into that quite frequently. We get comfortable and complacent. And so, one of the things that I am working on with my own self and for myself is understanding that I don't have to accept the things that I don't want. And I don't want to, right? Why do we accept the things that we don't want to? Let's kind of go into that maybe a little bit. And uh, so sometimes we accept what we don't want because we're blind to it, or we're used to it, right? It's maybe something that we grew up with, we've seen for the longest time, and we know it, we're comfortable with it. Even though it's not really necessarily what we want, we're comfortable there. That's a comfortable spot and a comfortable setting for us. And so that is somewhere I was. I'm going to kind of be a little transparent today, and I'm going to be a little open about some of the things that I personally have been going through and have been doing some serious searching within myself on why, and why I've been there for so long in a position or a spot where I didn't want that. That's not what I wanted. And now, am I saying that every time you don't want something to leave it? Absolutely not. There are ways to work through things. And then, but there's sometimes where it's just enough's enough. And I I have gone through a huge shift in my life, huge shift. And I'm really excited about it because there's a peace within me now, and there's also a better understanding of myself and who I am. So, let me say it like this. When we care about ourselves and we care about the relationship with us, with you and you, not you and someone else, you and you, when we're accepting of ourselves and we're understanding of ourselves and we're living and vibrating the vibrations of what we want out into the universe. And you might think I'm crazy, but these are facts. We are the creator of our own reality. And I've said this multiple times on my show, and I believe it 100%. I created the reality I didn't want for so long that now I'm working towards creating the reality I do want. And sometimes we have those in our lives that don't always what's that, they're not vibrating in the same vibration that you are. And a lot of times if they're not vibrating in that same vibration, then they're going to pull you away from creating that reality that you want. They can easily distract you and pull you into their reality versus you creating your own. So again, in order to have healthy relationships, you have to care about you and you. You have to have a relationship with yourself. You have to be able to love yourself. And when you love yourself and you're embracing the person, the human being that you are, that inner being, and listening to that inner being inside you, that really creates and manifests what you want. Once you understand what it is that you want, then you're able to have a huge, amazing vibrational force that's going to start attracting those things that you want. So, does that make sense? I'm hoping that this makes sense. Now, there is a little clip that I actually want to play for you guys. um, Abraham Hicks, she is one of my favorites to listen to. And she sounds a little off the wall and a little oddball a lot sometimes, however, she's really awesome, and she's given me a lot of good tools, a lot of good ways of thinking on things and different aspects of my life, on what I need to shift and change in my own vibration to create my own reality, right? So I'm going to play a little bit about this. uh I don't know if I want to start from the beginning, though. I was kind of debating on if I wanted to do that or not. Let's see. Honestly, I want to get to this part. Hopefully this is the right part, people. I apologize.
You are not in a position where you're having to choose something unwanted over nothing. It's something over something, something wonderful over something not wonderful. That's what the choice is. something wonderful, something dynamic, something deserved, something equal to who you really are, something in alignment with what you've put there. You deserve a wonderful, 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 wonderful relationship, you see. You deserve a wonderful relationship. That's what's there for you. But you just got to go to the pantry for a while and eat things that distract you.
That's the favorite part. For one of
I
them.
have been. So when my partner is being especially negative,
well, that's not the time to do any work. Just accept that hair blowing. Just accept that hair blowing experience as sort of where you're at. That hair blowing back experience. In other words, well, this is where we are. This is what is. And this is putting all kinds of good stuff in the vortex. Don't tell your partner, because that's just annoying. Oh, you're helping me create someone so much better than you. Every time you act like that, my life gets better over here. You don't want to say that. Just know it.
So do you just leave the room every time? Do you just
say again?
To distract yourself from like the ongoing negative stuff? Do you just leave the room every time? Just go into your...
You know what's interesting about this? You all watch television with all that stuff going on that's negative without feeling a need to leave the room. You run out of the room every time somebody kills a bug? Do you, in other words, there's all kinds of stuff that you don't necessarily want. The only reason that anyone leaves the room is to make a point. I don't like what you're saying. In other words, you want to de-emphasize. You want to de-emphasize the unwanted. Okay. So be here. This is the key or the trick that you're looking for. How can I be inside of it, in the right smack dab in the middle of a manifestation that is unpleasing, and offering a different vibration? Mm-hmm. Well, watch your children. They figured it out. They ignore you. They pretend like you're not there. They don't hear anything you say. You could be just in a horrible mood and they don't know. They don't care. They're not hanging on your every word. They're in their own world. You keep shaking them, dragging them back in and saying, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. And maybe sometimes your relationship does that to you too, but we think you're exaggerating. We think you have the ability to bliss out far more often than you've been giving yourself credit. Our friend did it, and the happier she got, the more out of vibrational sync she became with the one who was giving her grief, until the universe just put them in different places. You see. So,
all right, so I'm going to stop there, but if you have not listened to Abraham Hicks, I really suggest listening to her. She is phenomenal. She's got some great insight and great advice when it comes to manifesting. And I believe in manifesting. I believe in, like I was saying earlier, to create your own reality. And I love what she said about, the kids ignoring you, and that's when something around you is not vibrating or is not creating your vibration to stay in a positive set in motion. Like, I'm getting my words messed up here. Hello. But when you're not vibrationally connected right there, because you've got differences that are going on, instead of, you don't have to leave the room like what she was telling her. You can just ignore them, or say, I don't want to hear that. That's not what I want to hear. Can we shift this? Or, how about, and this is the thing. We all come to each other to be able to vent, and venting is great. I'm not saying not to vent, especially not to your partner. Your partner should be able to hear you vent, but just do it in a manner that actually makes sense, to not create negativity or create it to be, hey, this is what happened today. I can't believe it happened. I just need to vent about it. And okay, thank you for letting me vent. I'm over it. Like it's over. Like I'm done. Like thank you. I appreciate it. Keep it in a way that is informative, right? And still getting it out, but not attacking or not creating a negative space. And I feel like that's where, so this lady, what she first initially asked, which we missed, but you can always go back and I'll tell you, and I can add the link to it as well onto our Facebook page so that you can see which one I pulled that from, or what it's called, so that you can also go to it and listen to the whole thing. But she started talking in the beginning about, how do you know that you're in the right relationship? How do you know that how do you know if you need to be there still or leave? And that is a really hard choice. It is never easy because especially if you've been with somebody for so long, but I took some notes for myself as well, and there's power of persuasion, okay? There is power of persuasion. You can change your vibration. You can change your mood in persuasion. Like look, think of it this way. When you're walking down a street and you smile at somebody, they're going to smile. You just changed that vibration. They probably had no intent of smiling until you smiled at them, right? So we have that power to persuade or to persuade we have the power of persuasion with others, with the people that we're with our partners, with our friends. So sometimes it's just a matter of creating that better vibration and space within yourself. So again, that goes back to caring and loving yourself, right? You have to be in a relationship with you. You have to be happy with you. When you're not happy with you, everything is off balance. It throws everything, all relationships, everyone around you off balance. That vibration shifts and changes. So, in order to find somebody that should be in your space or have that same vibrational uh vibration, I'm just going to go with that, right? You have to be in a good space yourself. You have to be where you want to be already without having to have somebody else in that space. And I feel for me, and I told you I was gonna be a little open today. I feel with me, I have always felt like I needed someone in my life to have happiness. We've all felt that way, right? It's like we grow up and we are taught for so many years wrong that you're supposed to have somebody in your life. The more people you have in your life, the more friendships you have, the better, the happier you're going to be. No, 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 and no, no, that's not it. In order to be happy, in order to have good vibrations and positive mindset, you have to be happy and love yourself first and be able to love your own space and be able to be happy in your own space and not feel like you have to have somebody else there in that space to make you happy. Because trust me, it's not always going to be happy. In relationships are hard. You're different people. You have different views and different perceptions and different truths that you learned from the truths when you were a kid. Let's think about it this way, right? We were taught a language based off of symbols and language on how to live our life by the people that had created that themselves and that had helped them create that, right? From the very beginning, right? Coming out of the womb. So, therefore, that was still somebody else's truth. Now it's time when you get to a point where you're adulting, where you're becoming an adult, where you're becoming your person, you're creating this individual that you are, that you're just meant to be. We have to figure that out on our own. It has nothing to do with really the people that taught us from the very beginning. It's now time for us to teach ourselves what we want, right? It's time for us to learn our own truth and create our own reality. And when you have another person in there, you can still have that other person. But again, it's like what she was saying. There's the vibrate, like the vibrations have to be in sync. You both have to be on the same journey. You have to be on, I mean, of course, you're still going to have your differences, which is great. Our differences are what helps us to learn new things, right? Because I mean, that's just, we're discovering, we're curious. We're supposed to be curious. We're supposed to be wanting to know more about people and getting to know more and having more relationships. Yes, but doesn't that doesn't make us happy is where I was going with that. I might have scrolled off. I apologize. And so you can change your vibration, and you can't get what you really want with somebody that you don't really want. Okay. So that goes back with the vibration, right? So if you're with somebody that is not really what you want, or isn't creating what you really want with you, then there is where that separation probably should come. Now, am I telling you to leave? No, like again, what I said earlier, if you're in a relationship, you don't know if that's the relationship you really want to be in, and you're struggling with it or whatnot, does not mean that you have to leave it necessarily. But there has been times where enough is enough, right? Where you have continued to want, and this is the thing. I'm going to go here. Let's see how much time. Okay. Uh, Change. We have this thing where we feel we need to change people, or okay, so for me, I am I'm a person, I'm a fixer. I like to fix things. I like to, I mean, that's why I'm here, right? I like to put out there into the universe and speak out to everybody in the world on how to have a better, healthier mindset, right? That's why I started this show, because I want everyone to be able to feel peace, joy, happiness, like true happiness, and also be able to experience a more positive, healthier mindset, because there is so much negativity in the world, and we can also have a lot of negativity around us. And it's like what she said, just ignore it. You don't have to necessarily leave it, but ignore it. But at the same time, if that still is not shifting and it's not moving in the direction that you're moving, and that journey that you have set in place that you want is not being created, or being sidetracked, or it's veering off the road, then maybe it is the universe telling you that you need to move on into a different relationship. You need to maybe think about being in a different space where you can create what you want in your life, right? You can have that happiness and that peace, and not walking on eggshells, or not feeling like you're not good enough. If you're not feeling like you're not good enough, and if you're not, and again, that's your feelings, it's your own insecurities a lot of times, but there are situations where you have people in your life that are constantly saying things, and putting things in your head, and in your space, and in your bubble, that can create those feelings of, I'm not good enough. I'm never going to be good enough for this person. This person always is thinking that I'm doing something wrong. I need to do things right. How do I need to change for this person to make this person happy? And that's wrong. Wrong thinking. That's not the right way to think. The right way to think is, okay, I am enough. I am worthy. I am a beautiful being. I was created in God's image, and I am I have the capability to create a better reality. I have the ability, I have the power to change my vibration. I have the ability and the power to shift and be around more like-minded people in my life. I have that ability. I have that power in order to create that. And I don't have to have somebody else there with me to do that. And sometimes the people that we did have, or we do have, maybe have not helped us get there. And so that is kind of what has been going on in my life. I had to create and realize that I am worthy of so much more than what I was being given, and what I was producing, and what I was putting out there, and what I was dealing with. You don't have to deal with what you don't want. You don't have to put up with what you don't want. You have the capability and the power, again, to shift that and create something different and new and better. You have that ability. And I think knowing that and understanding that and creating that now for me has been huge. There's like this peace that I have and I feel. There is less tension in my shoulders and in my neck, and not to talk negatively about anybody that has been in my life. I would never do that. I just wanted to put out there that there are things that you have to go through in life for a reason. And whatever that reason may be, we don't maybe understand it, or we don't know it. There are people that come in and out of our lives for a reason, and a lot of that is for discovery, discovering yourself more, discovering what you want more in those relationships, and learning from that, and being able to move past it or with it, whichever works best, right? Whichever way is where you're supposed to be guided and where you want to be. So again, this is what I wanted to talk about today because again, I like to this show is helpful for me. And I am a little selfish in the fact that I created this show, or I wanted this show because I wanted to be a voice for those and help them be in a more peaceful and healthier mindset. However, this show helps me more than anyone would ever understand. Um, and I haven't been on it for a couple of weeks because of the things that have been going on in my life, and the things that I've been coming to understand, and what I've wanted to, uh, you know, what I needed to work out and fix through within myself before coming back on here and speaking with all of you. So that is why I was not exactly here. I was here. You could watch some of my previous shows, but I wasn't here. Um, so one of the other things that I wanted to talk about is, um, knowing when you don't have to accept what you don't want to accept. Again, that was what we were kind of talking about from the beginning, but um, it's like Atomic Habits. I talk about this book a lot because it's one of my favorite books. It's absolutely phenomenal. If you have not read it or listened to it on Audible, it is available on Audible, and that's how I read it. Actually, I didn't read it; I listened to it. Uh, I'm more of a listener, I guess, and that book just really explains the habits that we can create, but it also, how I look at it too, your habits are also created with others too, right? So there's a gravitational force that will pull you from another person, from a partner, um, as well, right? So their bad habits sometimes become your bad habits. And when you don't want that habit anymore, you have to break away from it. And it's really hard to do when you have somebody else that's in your life that isn't creating those better habits with you, and just continuing to stay stagnant and comfortable in those same bad habits. And bad habits are whatever you perceive them to be. It doesn't, my bad habits necessarily don't mean your bad habits. Uh, However, it's whatever you perceive it to be. Like if you want to get up and not watch TV all night and actually get things done around the house, or get outside and sit outside and just have a conversation with somebody, actually enjoy somebody else's company and conversation, then go do that. Break away from feeling like you have to be stuck in front of that TV all day long, every day long. And if that's a habit. So I'm just bringing some of them up. One of my bad habits, I feel, is, or that I captured, that I took, um, that I really didn't want, was being lazy. I don't like being lazy. I'm a very motivated person, and I like being motivated. I like being up and about and doing things. I like spending time with my friends, and I really enjoy living an adventure. Like every day for me, I want it to be an adventure. I really do. I want to do something different every day. I don't want to do the same thing every day. I can't stand that. It just sucks me into this depression, and which we don't call it depression, we call it calm before action. So if you are using that word, like I just said it and I know better, we switch that to calm before action. So, and that's where I was. I was calm before action for some time, actually, and I didn't even realize it. I'm so good at walking around smiling all day. I get asked this all the time. Why are you smiling? Quality, not quantity. Hi, good morning, Tiffany. Sorry, I just saw your messages. Good morning. And yes, you're right. Quality, not quantity. Absolutely. Um, and so I lost track now. Squirrel. This is me on a daily. But so yeah, like living an adventure, like going out and seeking new things, getting involved in new things. But I was calm before action the last couple of days or late weeks, longer probably. I know it was longer. I didn't realize it though. I didn't realize it right away. It took me a little bit to really open my eyes and be awakened to what was really going on with me. And again, like I said, I walk around, people are always asking me how always smiling, you're always smiling, you're always so happy. And I can tell you, those that have, discovered what my big shift in my life, they never would have guessed it. So, all right, we're going to go to a quick break, guys. So stay tuned. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere. I've got a lot more good stuff to talk about. All right, see you soon.
Let's be honest. Wheelchairs are heavy, bulky, and ugly. If you carry a wheelchair in your car to take care of a loved one, you know how hard it is getting that clunky, old-style wheelchair in and out of your car. Introducing the Feather Chair Wheelchair. At 13 pounds, it's the world's lightest wheelchair. It folds in seconds and fits neatly in your trunk, backseat, or closet, so you can take it everywhere. And it's only available right here. Order yours today and get a free wheelchair case, a $50 value, yours free. The Feather Chair. The world's lightest wheelchair is just $4.99 with easy payments as low as $16 a month. Sorry, no Medicare or insurance accepted. So call right now to order yours.
800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. That's 800-823-5826.
Out of dead carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleveland, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleveland, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give them a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they got you covered. Out of dead carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleveland, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleveland, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give them a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they got you covered.
You're listening to Joco Community Radio.
All right. Welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned. Joco Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and is live 24/7 on the TuneIn Radio Network. TuneInJoco.com is the place to find all the ways to listen and watch. And the station app is also available for free on Android and Apple devices. Simply search your store. Check out our lineup and more at JocoCommunityRadio.com. This episode and more brought to you by Next Level Claims, making your insurance work for you. Reach out to your Texas sales rep at 844-839-4245. Again, that's 844-839-4245. Also, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, be sure to dress your arms and more at thetiffy.com. All right. So where were we? Okay. Hopefully I can get back to where we were and I don't scroll off too much more today, this morning. I like to do that though. I mean, things just come and you got to talk about it, right? You got to talk about it. Okay. So I was saying, a lot of people, they didn't have any idea what I was going through and what was going on. And not that they all know now. I mean, they know a little bit about a little bit, but and that's kind of what I'm talking about on here. Just a little bit about a little bit. I'm not gonna give out too much info, but I do think that there was that misconception that I was really good, I guess, at putting out there, and not really letting people know. And then when you do talk to people about things that you're going through, it's hard to communicate with people sometimes about these things, right? It's really hard because for one, you know, it's not always just it's not always just another person in the relationship. It's you too. It's whatever you're going through and whatever, shifts and things that are needing to take place in your life. So it's not always it's not bad or good on whoever's part. It's not that, that person was just a really bad, messed up person. It's that that person had some things that they were going on within themselves. And then same for you, right? You just shifting. Like there was this big shift and an eye-opening awakening that just kind of happened with me. And at first I really didn't understand it. I didn't know what I wanted. I was very confused on what was going on with me because, when you're in a relationship with somebody for so long, you don't want anything to happen. You don't want to break away or have that much of a difference that change, that big, like I called it the big change. And sometimes though it sometimes it just needs to happen. Sometimes you need that time away or that separation or whatever it is that you need to really understand and really get to know what your real feelings were in that relationship and what you were really wanting and what you're really wanting in a relationship, in a healthy relationship. And yeah, and you gotta have you have to know, and this is what I think. This was one of the biggest breaking points I feel for me was I really grasped. Oh, my English this morning. Maybe I should speak German. It might work better. um. Okay, so when I grasped what was really going on, I really understood that I am worthy. My worth. I'm worthy of so many amazing, incredible things. And I have such an enlightening, joyful human being that I am, and this person that I am. And I manifest so many amazing, happy things around me when I'm around good, amazing, like minded people. And it's incredible. It is incredible when I get to experience those moments. But then when I was going home, I didn't feel any of those moments. And I tried, and I guess, it'd be like what someone would say to me, drop a pencil and try to pick it up. Yeah. And you are trying though. Every day you're trying, you're living your best self. You're putting your best foot forward in every step that you take. So it's okay to continue trying to be your best version of yourself. And so I feel that it's better to it's better to keep putting your best foot forward and keep trying to create your reality of what you want and what looks good to you and what creates your joy and your happiness, and to also be more understanding for those that may struggle or may be struggling and be there for them and help them out through it. And again, a lot of times, like what I did was I was hiding. I was in hiding for so long. Um just hiding, I feel, and I had blinders on, and I had um this false conception of what I really wanted. And I think that when you shift gears, when you completely understand yourself and understand the things that you're wanting to create, the things that you're wanting to do, like there's so many more things that I thought I would have already been doing already right now at my time, at my age and in my life. And um and so many missed opportunities of creating the best relationships with my kids. that I think was the hardest. I I lost some time with them, and it was due to choices that were made in why that happened. And I feel it was easier at times to just ignore those feelings and ignore the thoughts that I had, and including some of the resentment. I had some resentment, and I had some anger that I hid for so long in regards to why I made the choices that I made instead of really looking at what I didn't need that. I needed my boys. I needed my kids. And some of you are probably listening so confused right now. And again, I'm trying to have this conversation with you without giving too much information. And that's probably silly. I said I was going to be open, and I'm being shut off a little just cuz you know, there is some things that I'm not quite ready to really talk about, to really put out there. So if you are confused, or maybe you're like, "Wow, I completely get it." I'm happy that if that's where you're at. If not, then bear with me. I'll get to where it's a little bit more understanding. So but there's those times, you're when you leave a marriage, or that you had kids with, there you get single, you become single, and now you want a relationship. Now you want to get into a relationship. You're like, I want a better relationship than what I had. And it's crazy, right? Because you want it so bad that you completely sometimes can derail yourself from true joy with your kids, with your boys. Like I have boys. I have boys. Um, Damn it. I wasn't gonna cry. uh, so that was, I think, the hardest part was not putting my kids first. And so I'm gonna tell you right now, when you become a single parent, don't worry so much about the next relationship. Worry about the relationship with your kids. Keep that. Hold on to that, because your kids are forever. Your kids are gonna love you unconditionally forever. A man or a woman that comes into your life, they're going to love you temporarily. They might love you unconditionally at some point, but they need to understand what unconditional love is first, right? And unconditionally loving yourself is where that starts. And if you're not unconditionally loving yourself first, you're not going to be able to love somebody else. It's getting stuffy in here. I'm gonna open the door. And my emotions might be a little heightened, so I'm a little warm in here at the moment. But so anyway, thank you for letting me talk to you guys today about this, and for letting me open up to you guys about some of the hardships that I've faced, and some of the decisions that I've made that have created the hardships, because that's what it is, right? We walk this path, we walk on this journey, and we're walking in this journey daily, and we we want to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and there's darkness that comes in, creeps in between those time frames. But when that does, just know that there is that younger version of you at the end of the light of the tunnel that's saying, you got this, you can do this. Because kids, like, let's think about kids. Kids are so amazing because they don't worry, they don't stress about things. And if they are, we need to fix that quick and in a hurry. Okay. But that's you. Your younger version of yourself knew no limits, had no doubt, had no, you know, just believed in that your little self so much. And if that little version of yourself believed in you that much, why aren't we believing in ourselves as adults like that? Right? Okay, so I've got some. I'm going to go ahead and read. I've got some people that are chiming in. Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate it. So Tiffany K. Carlin, I absolutely agree, and I know those feelings. Diana is talking about. Big hugs to her all. Thank you, Julie. Big hugs back. Bobby, amen. Focus on your children. That's right. That's right. And okay, so Julie, I was single for 10 years until Bobby came into my life. Raising my son and focusing on him was the most important mission goal. And I love that. I love that. You know, I've had so many different single moms that have, come into my life um throughout my life, and man, it's so incredible to hear these women that are like, "Oh, I don't want a relationship. I'm focusing on my kids. I'm taking care of my kids right now," which is great. I mean, and I think that's probably when Bobby came in, right? Like you'd already established that loving yourself, understanding who you are, I'm sure within helping be with your kids and raise your kids, that Bobby came in right when he needed to. And that's what it is. Like that's what I'm saying. Manifest what you want. Put out there what you want. The relationships that you want, the friendships that you want. You can have those things. You can absolutely have those things. And I think sometimes we're just so sidetracked or we're so blinded with those blinders of all the daily routine of just doing the same thing every day. That's why I want to do something different every day. Do something different every day. Look for something new to do. Even if that means, like, I'm going to tell you right now, I office here, okay? So there are times where I get really cold in here and I'm getting not upset or frustrated or anything with my work or anything. I'm just like I get squirreled off. I'm not focused anymore. And I will seriously come step out these doors and just stand outside for a minute, warm up, get my thoughts together. And that's something different. That's not sitting at my desk all day, every day doing the same routine. That's getting up. And we have a CVS like right down the street from us. One of my favorite things to do when I need to get back on my focus or I need to just have some me quiet time, no phone, no nothing. I walk to CVS. I'll walk to the CVS and walk back. And that's been huge for me. Um so I you guys, I really really appreciate you listening to me this morning and hearing the things that I have to say. There's so much more that I could talk about. There's so much more that I could say, and I will eventually. Just give me some time, you guys, and I'll give you more insight on the things that have been going on and the things that have really shifted my mindset into, I feel, creating my best reality. I am creating the best reality for my life. And it's going to be beautiful. It's already beautiful. It's getting there and it will continue to be there. I know it will. So, if you feel like you are stuck or in a rut or you feel like there's something off balance in your life, shift gears. Shift gears. Do something different today. Go step outside for a minute and look at the sky. Look at the beautiful green trees we've got now, right? It's beautiful outside. And go for a ride. Go for a run. Go for a walk, just even to the CVS like I do. Do something different today. Get out of your own space, get out of your own head. Man, sometimes we are so stuck in what other people are doing or how other people are doing. We forget about just thinking about what we're doing and how we're doing. Take that time to really think about what you want. Take that time to be quiet and silent and listen to your inner being to answer those questions because your inner being knows more about you than you do. And that's that little, I'm going to call her my little Diana that's there. She's been pulling at me for a minute. She's been at that end of the tunnel with the light calling out to me for a minute saying, "Diana, wake up. Wake up. Get out of this. Get out of this funk. Be the best version of yourself. You keep talking about it. You give you give great relationship or great advice to other people. It's time to take it on your own. Take some of that for yourself, and do what you need to do for you for once." And so that's what I'm doing. Okay, so Julie said some more stuff. Let's see what she said. I held on to to fact that God would send someone perfect for me when the time is right. Perfect timing too. We needed each other, gave each other exactly what God knew we needed, and when. Pray. There is no rush or time for the for now or over the forever. Oh, I love that. There is no rush of time for the for now over forever. It's very true. Yes, absolutely. And you know, gosh, I do. I like that because you're forever. When you find that forever person, then man, and it's so amazing, and it feels so great. I'm sure it feels so great to have that forever person that has the same goals, ambitions, motivation, mindset. And again, you don't want to marry yourself, right? You need somebody that complements you. And it's like what I've said for the longest time. If it complicates your life and it's continuing to complicate your life and it's not getting any better, then you need to go. And it then and but if it complements your life, you keep it. So if it's complicating and it continues to stay complicating, move on. But if it's complementing you, keep it. So, and that's one of the things I guess that I said that a lot and I never really listened to it myself. Isn't that crazy how we do that? Like we think we have it all together and we think that we know what we're doing and we think we're feeling we're in the right spot at the right time. And I might have been, I might have needed this. My kids may have needed this, even though like my selfishness and my selfish feelings of missing out on some time with them because of certain situations. Maybe it's maybe this is how it was supposed to be. But that there's that road, the fork in the road, right? There's the decisions and the choices. So if I could give anybody advice on what I went through, I would highly suggest make sure that you're choosing the right path for you and your kids, especially if you are now single and you have kids. My kids are quite older now. My oldest is 18 and he's going to be 19 and he's off into the Navy and he's at boot camp and I'm so proud of him and so excited for him. And my younger one, he's 16 and he's all into rodeo and he's a little cowboy, or a big cowboy, I should say. He's 6 foot. That kid's gonna be so tall. And he's only 16. I can't even imagine. I feel like as long as his legs are, he's probably gonna be 6'7", maybe. I mean, I would not think anything other than that. I think he's gonna be 6'7". I really do. And but yeah, like spend time with your kids, enjoy them as much as possible, and love them and show them what your relationship with them should look like. And I lost that. I lost that. I wasn't able to show that to my kids. um, I did. I did for quite some time. I can't say that I never did. There was just a short period of temporary time that was taken from me. And I would love to have that back. Or at least, I still have the best relationship with my kids. Don't get me wrong. I love my kids. They love me and they have been accepting of all of the things that had happened and occurred. And I guess that has a lot to do with, how I always told them, stay positive, don't be negative about this. Don't be sad about this. Just know that this is just a season that we have to go through and it's only temporary. And I think that they really embraced that and they really took that advice because I felt it every time. I felt that every time I got to see them and still see them. I haven't got to see my oldest though, because like I said, he's at boot camp still. So, but I have got to talk to him on the phone. He called me on Mother's Day, which was great. Or wait, no, the day before Mother's Day. He called me right the day before Mother's Day, but we were celebrating Mother's Day with my mom and everybody. So they all got to talk to him as well. And it was just great. It was brilliant. And then I got to talk to my Noah. So man, this has been a great a great time for me to have been able to share a lot of this stuff with you guys. I really hope you guys liked Abraham Hicks. And again, Abraham Hicks is amazing. So if you have not been listening to her now, again, you may not agree with all of the things that she has to say, like the vortex and the universe, and it's all a perception of what you believe, right, in your belief system. I I believe that we are in a vortex because we're all made of energy, right? And our energy is what creates those vibrations and those connections with other people. So that's why I listen to her, because I do feel that we are in this vortex and we're all in it together, and we all need to just love one another, treat each other with kindness. And if you're, let me just put it this way, if your friend is always smiling and always like looks happy and looks like everything's all together, don't always believe that. And when they do come to you and they want to talk to you about it and they want to be open with you, listen, really listen, and really take into account what they're saying. And, sometimes we don't need advice, but sometimes we just need a good friend and a good listener. And I hope that I'm like that with my friends. I really do. I hope that my friends feel that I've been able to be there for them and really listen. But also, if they needed advice, I gave it to them, and I hope that I gave them the best advice. Because again, it's either you're going to take it or leave it. That's how I always say it. You're going to take it or leave it. Okay, Julie anchors away to a fellow sailor. Yes, woohoo, go Navy. Bobby and I are both Navy veterans. Bobby Riley. Well, oh, that's awesome. Thank you both for your service. Yeah, he's so excited. He is Julie, I'm really proud of him. He signed up for 8 years as to be an officer. So he's going to be going to school for an officer. He's already going to school in boot camp. So I guess for him, boot camp is boot camp and school. So and he said it's so easy. I'm like, he was like, I'm kind of a little sad, Mom. It's too easy. I'm like, well, baby, at least you got this. You got this. And but he's going to be a nuclear engineer. That's what he's going in for. Oh, thank you, Tiffany. I am. Thank you. Thank you. I try. And I know, Tiffany, you and I have had some amazing conversations, and I know you've been there for me too. So I appreciate it. I really do. Um, so we're getting a little bit shorter on time. So I said a lot. I hope that if this is something that you've been struggling with, or you're going through relationship situations, or um, whatever it is that you're going through, I highly suggest just taking it all in, have fun, enjoy your kids if you have kids, enjoy being adventurous and doing new things, and really sit quiet and still and really figure out what you want. What do you want? What do you want your relationship to look like? What do you want your life to look like? I would go with that first. I already have an idea and a visual of what my life is going to look like now. I already have it. I'm already putting it forth and manifesting it, and I'm excited. I'm excited for what's to come. I'm excited for where my world is going to go and what's going to happen in it. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be so awesome. So, but yeah, it's good things. All good things come to those who are awoke to what's going on around them and what they want. I hope that made sense. Wow, that's awesome. We are working on the son to do exactly the same. My son Zachary has ability to do great things, and we're trying to keep him on that path as well. And it's true. Like that, when it comes to your kids, gosh, you want them to just live such a better life than what you did, right? Like, I mean, I know that's what I want for my boys. I want my boys to have way better relationships than what I had relationship wise in my past, and I want them to really experience life and live their best life. I do. It's that's the hard part, the tricky part though with kids. They gotta find their own way and find their own path. We can be there as a guide, but eventually it's going to be their decision. So this is Diana signing off. Thank you guys for listening and tuning in. Until next time, bye.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godley, this is the voice of Johnson County, Joco Community Radio.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO, private health